Last we left off, you guys were investigating. Um, uh, uh, in regards to like a wellness check for a individual by the name of Britigale Falmer, as per request of one of her coworkers who had grown worried of her absence, unusual absence. Going to her house, you obtain grounds to barge in on it there, and upon your chagrin, you found Britta Gale Falmer and her supposed roommate, Amalie Dojal, having been brutalized and left not alive. And so, after calling in a group to, sweep the place, collect any evidence for you guys that you didn't already find, the person in charge told you that, oh, yeah, in fact, these two people had a report a few cycles ago in regards to the Globe Snatcher case. And the only people who would know a little bit more about the relationship between the two roommates would, in fact, be Squadron Viper, who were leads on the case. And so they took you into a private room to tell you the entire story. And of course, you guys were able to play as your own rivals to get a little bit of a personalized experience. And so now here we are. Alloy being taken away once more, being detained for interrogation as they were once again found on the crime of a scene. But meanwhile, you guys are upstairs, as Troy Montmore says to you all. And that's how it went, basically. And then you hear Cadence go, yeah, the guy was a total fucking creep.
Well, it sounds eventful at the very least. Thank you for the thorough explanation.
Yes, Ralston, yes, I don't want to brag, but it was the best that we could do, Save the girl, return her back home and all. No need to thank.
Right. Anyways, so at present it seems like more than a mere coincidence, but there's no clear link between the two cases, other than the same people.
We don't know anything about the case that you're working on, in terms of the Joneses.
Oh.
But do tell if you'd like, Troy says.
Where was the location of the shop again?
It was in southern Valheim in the rural lands, shallow rural lands. Closed up. Sent to Blackwell prison. Sentence for life.
So he's not busy anytime soon, then. Good.
Nope.
What of the items in the shop?
Chicha goes, a lot of the items in the shops were taken in for printing, basically, DNA, to see if they belonged to anyone else who lived in the city, anyone who showed up dead. But we determined that a lot of the items that were available for purchase in his shop were from previous victims of his before he came to the city. It was also part of his confession.
Gotcha. Do you know if a ledger was ever uncovered showing as to who bought what?
A ledger, Ralsei says. And Troy goes, that would have to be in the evidence department.
Gotcha.
So you all weren't filled in at all about the case we're working currently, correct?
Nope, not at all. In fact, we really, really wanted to, but it was like these checks and balances things, and Troy shoots Tabby a look. She goes, no.
Right. Well, I think for precisely that reason we won't be able to give you much information, but if you are brought into the case, please let us know and we'd happily wrap you all in.
Fair enough, Troy says. Glad we could help. Is there anything else that we're forgetting? He addresses the rest of his group. Oh, okay, never mind.
Is that the Elmo's world jingle?
That's a jaunty tune.
It's Tammy, text her list. Sock will go. Yes. The two women seem to have a good relationship with each other. They didn't seem to have any sort of resentment at all, if that helps. And Troy goes, yes, I will say, in all humility, that I never quite seen such a connection between two people. From when Britica was talking about Molly to when they actually reunited, it was quite emotional, sentimental, and received very well. Even out of the other victims that we had returned to their homes.
Shame of what's happened then to them.
Well, it's a good thing we're on the case. Hopefully we can figure it out. Squadron Viper, thank you for your assistance. It was a pleasant surprise working with you. Rather feels like we're rivals these days. It's odd, isn't it?
Oh yes. There is no competition, Rothley says.
Quite right. Anyways, I think we should get back to work.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for all the information.
Whatever you need, we should all get back to work as he addresses his own squad. Squad, out. As he walks out the door and snaps his fingers and leaves you all alone in the privacy of the room.
Did he just call them squadge?
Did he say squadge? Yeah.
No competition, truly.
How much of that do you think they made up?
Wonderful question. Worth checking in on, though, in the records room. See if there's anything that was left out. Or fluffed up.
I would like to take a look at the ledger to see if anything was bought, per se.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So, checking the evidence room, and then perhaps the shop, and maybe even, what was the man's name again?
Bolas Fig.
Fig, thank you.
I haven't been to the prison yet. Be interesting to go.
Yeah, I've never been in a rush to go there personally, but if we must.
On this time around, we'll be on the other side of the bars, though.
Pardon?
Huh?
Who's been on the other side of the bars?
I don't know.
Inside check?
I would like to also make that inside check. That's a very
Guys, bringing up prison is very risky here.
Does
Miss
one even
Mom.
need to do an insight check?
Oh god, I'm so scared. Inside
I know
check.
one way to get to prison.
Okay, I got a 13.
I got a 10.
Hold on.
Lord.
Roll 26 for deception. Y'all fall. No, I'm joking. I mean, who hasn't been in holding at least at one point in their life? This is not Brentania. Laws there are different than here.
Seems to be the closest one.
Okay.
Whoa!
You guys head to the evidence room. Everyone can make investigation checks and tell me specifically what you would like to investigate. The
I
information-
have. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just have the specific evidence that you're trying to seek.
But you were gonna note stuff. I don't know what I'm looking for. Hmm.
We can give her the help action if you want it instead.
Can I give Maeve the help actions?
I don't know what I'm looking for. Can I give someone the help action?
I'll take your help action, sure. I have. Alright.
Whoever's better at investigation, Kadani or Maeve, you can give each other advantage.
Okay.
She just has +2, but you all know the dice hate me with intelligence checks.
I'm gonna roll a tiny d6 just for in case to bump it up. Ooh. Oh, nice. So that's gonna be 24.
And what are you looking for, Matthew?
I need a piece of I don't know if they have the orb still. I guess. Like any piece of evidence that that they concluded afterward when they managed to free the people from the orb. I think that could be of interest, like magical property wise of sort.
Sure. And then the ledger. Let's see. So a ledger is a specialized record-keeping system or book used to keep track of financial transactions, acting as the main repository for business assets, liabilities, equity, revenue, and expenses.
Thanks for answering Megan's question.
Well, no, I wanted to like look for the ledger, you know. It's just, that works too. That's fine. You know. I like that Mia's frozen though. That was a good timing.
She looks so disappointed in me.
I don't have anything in mind. I just do the circles of the squares.
I just see
I
her
don't just
look.
start camera.
What? Huh?
I just got a thing saying fail to start Mia's camera.
Oh.
I think she's crashing, and it's probably just
Oh.
okay.
No. Oh no.
I'm having so much hard time focusing right now. Get it?
Sorry. My laptop died. So that's what a ledger is.
Thank you.
What specifically about a ledger? About the ledger?
Like looking to see if there were any recent large purchases or any unusual items that were purchased. Just looking to see if there's anything that stands out in those records. Maybe any debts.
Any familiar names?
No.
Of recent, the only familiar name that you would see is Siraj, as he had purchased an old piece of armor. Other than that, you see Amali Dojal and also the names of the other victims that were inside of the show globes. Just like pieces of jewelry, pieces of clothing. Like these were definitely like very obviously customers of this person of Horus before he snatched them. Like his name. But so yeah, pretty much. And as far as the show globes themselves, you would have remembered from the story that in order for the victims to be released from the show globes, they had to be destroyed and smashed to let them out of their globes. So there's no evidence really left behind of the show globes themselves, but you did find that a part of Mr. Fig's confession was basically the magic and idea behind the show globes. He was basically he specialized in necromancy, which is like a big no-no in a lot of the world, let alone this continent, given the rights of a dead body and such. But yeah, he would basically capture the victim's like consciousness, and he, sort of like a genie, would have them be transferred into the show globes.
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll just fill everyone in, basically say like, well, in the ledger it shows that the victims had purchased items recently, and also Sir Roche to purchase some armor. So, interesting.
In this story, he like the Squad Viper would have been like, yeah, this fucking half-orc guy and his weird tiefling kid was there.
Brandon, you are muted. If you're saying something.
I see.
That's a concern.
Maybe there's something more he can tell us?
I'll inquire about it in the night.
Very well. Matthew, did you find anything?
The orb itself was destroyed and shattered to release the individual trapped inside. There's not much else to find regarding it. We understand that the spell used was under the category of necromancy.
That
So
sounds
if we
right.
can be vigilant regarding those spells, perhaps that could aid us.
Right. What's our next move? We could go prison.
We could check out the prison. We could check out what's left of the shop. We could see what the outcome of the printing DNA was for the items. And the printing DNA would also be right here, wouldn't it? And she looks through the records room.
For the globe snatcher case?
Yeah, see about like if they've already processed the printing and DNA, would it be in here? Like the results of that.
Anything that was deemed not relevant to like the citizens of Pyre, aka all the items that like he acquired before he ever entered the city, was not kept. As for like the actual victims from Pyre, most of them were the undead knights that were fought by Squadron Viper, and they were already laid to rest. And items of those undead victims that Horus had claimed to be theirs were returned back to their families.
Right.
Do we know if any of the victims that have been going on recently were any of them the same as these ones in the globes, or is
Like
it
the murder
just this
victims?
one? No, yes, the ones in Arcade.
Are you speaking of
Or is it-
the actors? Oh, the actor and the musician? Ricky and apologies, my mind is elsewhere today.
Maybell.
Maybell, thank you. It's a good question. Mia,
be a
did we
hell
see
of a
their names in their
tie.
ledger?
Huh?
Would we have seen their
What?
names in the ledger? Ricky and Maybell?
No. But no. You did not see Ricky or Maybell Jones's
Gotcha.
names on the ledger.
Well, Dranch, I didn't see anything in the ledger, so not that I know of.
Mm,
I'm just confused on what's connecting this case to ours, besides this one victim.
Great question.
the method was the same. Well, somewhat. The murder weapon different, but I mean, in all technicality, it's something from the kitchen.
Did anyone look in the victim's eyes? The most recent ones.
Drench probably would have, but I forgot to mention.
Well, they
Would Drench?
had no eyes to look at. Their
Oh,
faces were
Their
bashed in.
skulls were.
That's
A
true.
bit bashed in, right?
Never
Were there
mind.
any eyes to be found in the crime scene? Like, did they just like popped out? somewhere?
Yes, they still had their eyes. They are just crushed.
I'm wondering if well, Ricky's eyes were glossy, and the coroner supposed that he had been blind since birth, but upon talking to people who knew him, they said that wasn't the case. So I'm just wondering if maybe that's a similarity as well between the cases.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get a good look at the bodies. We were interrupted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't remember if it had been stated, but I seem to recall that the body was stated of Ricky. Been stated that there had been no magical, like, property, like exert prior to death.
Correct.
Am
He was not intoxicated or under the influence of anything magical. And just because it's been a while. So yes, you guys did ask for a couple of things to be like checked in forensics, which is coming. So you guys are also waiting on some info about the crime scene as well. So
Fair enough.
because it's just you guys just found the bodies like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
So
Oh, true. It has been 2 hours only. Jeez.
Yeah.
Ah,
Mm,
so we're in the afternoon, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a suggestion that I don't think anyone will be particularly fond of, but perhaps we ask Sergeant Crime to come and take a look at the crime scene to see if there is another aura of a third party who might have committed the murder.
That could be valuable.
yeah, I think that would be very valuable. Yes. Is he off break today?
As you say that,
Hmm.
We
you
hear that thud, thud,
Is
thud.
it real this time?
you hear some light, cheery commotion coming from outside of the city hall.
Shall we check it out?
I think that might be a good idea. Though I am kind of scared that if it's another protest happening.
Yeah, me too.
Better to go see in that case.
Right on.
Following you.
Okay. So, you do see some of your other colleagues like down the halls, like at the windows, looking outside. Um, and as you go down the stairs and through the lobby and through the double doors, you do see that congregating is another group of people. I would say it's a light crowd. And by the Dove of Peace, you see the backs of two winged figures that you can immediately tell is Seraphina and Sergeant Crime. As you see Seraphina, her distant voice, as she goes, "Yes, hello all. Thank you so much." And you like hear the cheering and the Seraphina, bless you, Seraphina. As she goes, "Unfortunately, I have some not so happy news." And the crowd goes quiet for a second. "I regret to inform you all that I do have to report back to my homeland, back to the lands of Priel. For, as you all may know, a work of the warrior is never done." And you hear, moans of sadness and hear some cheers. She goes, "But never you worry. I will always make my rounds and come back. I always do." As she looks towards Sergeant Crime, as you see him just like eyes on her the entire time. And you see her gaze linger on his for a couple moments. "Until then, please take care of one another. There is strength in unity. There is strength in community. You all have the power within yourselves, and together, you are all unstoppable." All of you make a perception check really quick.
Yes, sir. Uh,
12.
perception 23.
Donnie continues not to be able to see shit.
What did you get, Dawson?
21.
Ooh.
And then Mick got a 12, and Kadani, what'd you get?
I got 7.
A 7. Yes, Kadani, you're seeing just like this crowd is really eating up what she said, and she's seeming very, very sincere in what she's saying. And you see that her and Crime are holding hands as he's just gently caressing her hand and just eyes on her. Maeve, you see the same thing, and you're hearing like tiny little commentary that are complimentary and positive towards her departure and her in general. Meanwhile, Drench, what you see is you're hearing all the happiness and the cheer and the positivity. But then, as your eyes are scanning the crowd, you catch sight of these two female presenting individuals of differing races that are watching this in delight. And your ears sort of perk up a little bit as you hear the following. "Oh, she is wonderful, isn't she? Oh, absolutely. She is just amazing. I was here since the day she arrived in the city, the very first time she became a legend." And the other person goes, "Well, I knew about her when I wasn't even in the city yet. So, yeah." And then the other person goes, "Oh, well, I have all of her pins. That sort of makes one a little bit more of a follower, I would say." And the person goes, "Well, if you were really a follower of Seraphina, you wouldn't have an ego." And the person goes, turns to her like, "What did you say?" And you see them proceed to bicker at each other. These two complete strangers just comparing about who is more of a follower than the other. Um, getting very pissed off and angry out of nowhere. Matthew, you're sort of peeping this as well, but then you look off in the other direction, and near the other side of the city center, you see these women who are looking at these two fighting each other. A group of women of about 6 or so, and you will recognize them. These are some of the sisters of Sablina. And so, as on looking this entire crowd and the two that are fighting each other over who's a better follower, and taking humor in it, Seraphina goes, "All right. As much as I would love to stay, I do truly have to depart now. Bless you all." And she begins to flap her wings and take flight. And you see Sergeant Crime looking up at her, and she adorns her weapon as she raises it up to the skies, and you hear a roar of cheering. And all of a sudden, you see Crime shoot up into the air toward her and swoop her up and start spinning, and they suspend for a second as he wraps his wings around her for a couple of seconds, and then as he starts to unravel his wings and they begin to float down very slightly, you can see them kissing each other briefly before he pulls away, and she goes higher as he descends lower, their arms lingering, then their hands, and then their fingertips, as she flies off south. And you see Sergeant Crime float down, still looking and watching her. And when she's out of view and the crowd starts to disperse, he looks towards the city center, towards where you guys are. But he's not concerned. You see his eyes darken and his brows furrow. His mouth and his face muscles completely relax as he strides in a confident, predatory manner towards the city center, passing you all, a cold chill passing by as he bursts through the doors of the city center.
5 gold to whoever's brave enough to talk to him.
5 gold on anyone who receive an answer in his attention.
I'm broke. I can do it if you want.
And I'm terrified of him, so.
I don't know if this
What
is
do
a
we
bet
ask
worth
him?
taking, Drench.
I can go inquire about it.
Do you need me to or not? You were offering 5 gold.
Yeah, but he might hurt you.
Should we see at least where he's going?
That's a better idea.
Perhaps a wiser idea, yes.
The gold is still in the line there.
So-
And Donnie is going to follow after Crime, though she is very obviously keeping a few pieces back. She fully knows Crime probably knows that they're there following on him. But she's still, she's still toddling after him.
I'm gonna try
Sure
and be
thing.
sneaky at least.
You see, as you guys go back into the city center and are at the lobby, up the grand pair of staircases, you see Crime as he is a little bit towering over a Beau, as Beau is, gesturing with his hands and being very polite, and you can tell that he is trying to explain something to Sergeant Crime.
I feel like we should rescue him.
We can wait until they're
Exactly.
finished.
All right.
And Usbo continues to gesture like this and, you know, be his normal self, not really making eye contact with Crime. Crime eventually goes from having his hands on his hips to having his hands cross over his chest, and then snaps his head towards all of you, and then back towards Bo. As Bo's like, like that. And
Uh-oh.
Crime
Are
just
we in
slowly
trouble?
nods his head. And Bo goes, "Hey guys! It's okay, come on up here. We won't bite."
Very well. Much
I've
you
pulled
will.
off the table now.
Well, I do believe you would do both, perhaps.
I'm walking forward.
Yeah, that's you
So is
also.
Donnie is as well.
Hey! So, how was your talk with Squadron Viper? I hope it was productive.
It
We
was.
got a lot of information, yeah.
That's great. That's great. Anything of concern with the both of us here? I just updated Sergeant Crime, and he's just looking at you all like, like just dead face. He has agreed to take a little bit of a talk with Alloy. That was their name, correct? The new Fae in town. He'll do that shortly, but if there's any other details that you could give Crime, Sergeant Crime, then it would be very helpful to him.
Real quick, Donnie wants to just take a look around down the hallway, see if there is a certain other team or any other enforcers nearby. I imagine there probably is, but
Well, yes, like a general look around, you see just like busybody people, just being casual, but you don't see anyone in your immediate range that's maybe eavesdropping or looking in purposefully.
we learned a lot about the psychological makeup of our two victims. And it just seems to be another continuation of how Ricky and Maybell were, that everyone swears up and down that they loved each other, they cared about each other. And this doesn't seem like it would be people who would commit a murder homicide.
Two things can be true at the same time.
Dialectic, if you will. Right, so, yeah, there's not too many other similarities other than the fact that, you know, Britta Gale and Amelie were both a part of the Globe Snatcher case. There's not really any clear link between the two, otherwise.
We suspect there might be perhaps a usage of necromancy relating the case, but that is the only trace or track that we have at the moment.
But we
Yes.
We were
Nothing but the same person that were found at both of the crime scenes. But I guess that's my job, huh?
Well, we do think it would be helpful if you were to take a look around the newest crime scene to see if you could find a third or of another person who might have been responsible, so that we can at least rule that out.
How long have they been dead?
To about 2 hours. We found the bodies about 2 hours ago.
So we're still waiting on some results from testing.
The last sight of them, at least one of them, had been 3 days prior. The death might be not related, but will range between the state of today and 3 days ago. We still are looking at the body within the autopsy room.
Right. Well, let them do their work. I'll meet you guys back at the home in 2 hours. I gotta talk to your little friend first. You're welcome to watch. See if you can get any more information out of them. As he starts to walk past you all and down the stairs.
And
I actually
How-
think I might want to see this, Bo says as he hurries after.
How's Bo, by the way? How does he look? Like after being
While you guys were talking to Crime, Bo stepped back for a second, and you saw him turn around and sort of pretend like he was doing something else. He was just like, kicking his feet, and you saw his shoulders go up and down a lot, like as if he was deep breathing, before he turned
God.
back around with his normal self.
good lad.
I do think it would be good to go watch, though. We have the only thing that we have in common with the two, besides the violence of the act, is Alloy was there for both of them.
At the very least, perhaps it could be cathartic.
it could?
Better Crime gets his anger out on them than us.
Well, we're gonna follow Crime like little duck.
We are little ducks.
Okay. So, as you go down another pair of stairs, down into the basement levels, and travel the familiar path of the interrogation rooms, there's a brief exchange between Crime and Bo and the security guards as they're like, oh yeah, this person's in that room, and which leads you to Alloy. And as you can see, there is a window. And Alloy, what are you doing in this moment as you are right back where you were just a couple days ago?
What items do they let me have when I come in the second time?
Nothing.
Sick.
You
So
do
sick.
have a pair of handcuffs on though.
You see that I'm mushing good berries and writing on the wall, and I am mouthing to myself in the corner, but it's the top corner.
And as Crime has his hands back on his hips, he turns to all of you. One of the fun ones, eh?
Enjoy.
Right. And he rolls his eyes and just jumps right into the room. And Alloy, I'll go with it. Alloy, as you were talking to the corner, having conversation with whoever you choose, you hear the door open and close very, very loudly. It almost makes you jump because it's so sudden. And as you turn, you see a very, very tall individual with big black eagle-like wings and sort of medium length wavy hair with these piercing eyes, clad in leather clothing, as he stares at you in a very serious manner. And you see his eyes for just a moment flash a bright green before he walks over to the chair and goes, "Sit," as he points to the chair across from him.
Yes. Okay. Hello. My name is Alloy. Sitting.
Sergeant Nolan Crime. I understand that you were found at the scene of 2 separate crimes. Just so happened to be there?
Yeah. So Sergeant Crime, I actually would prefer. I think that this might actually be a misunderstanding. Is it okay if we talk on slightly different terms? Like maybe that would make you like a what, Mr. Meaner?
You can refer to me as Sergeant Nolan Crime,
Sergeant Nolan Crime is perfect.
and you can also answer my question.
I think it's a misunderstanding. I was just at these two separate places.
The manner at which you were found at the first crime scene was inside of the victim's house, taking a bath. Is that correct?
Yes, I was dirty from walking in their house. That was the first crime?
Yes, and what exactly did possess you to walk in the house that wasn't yours in the first place? Is that something you do back in Pixieland?
It's called Grow, but I don't know where you come from necessarily. That might be new. So, if you don't know, in Grow, it's not really nice to be dirty in people's houses. It's not really nice to be dirty any time. You usually try to like rinse off in like anywhere that you can if you get dirty, especially
Were
if
you
you're dirty in
invited inside of the
someone
house?
else. No, I was not, and that made it even worse because I was dirty in someone else's house that I wasn't supposed to be in.
Are you trying to say that you don't know the customs of trespassing on somebody else's property?
I do now. I actually read a law book. Well, I read some of a law book.
So in Pixieland, you're just able to walk into somebody's house and take a bath casually?
It's Grow, but no. I thought there was a circumstance that was more forgiving here.
So if you're not able to do that from the place that you come from, what made you think you can go to somewhere else and do the same thing?
Is Pyre not better than Grow?
Answer my question.
Well, I didn't have anywhere to get clean, and I also had a new dress, and to be honest, I didn't really have anywhere else. And by the time that I found that where I was really not where I should be, I was already dirty, and we got here.
At the scene of the crime, it seemed like you also had damaged a couple of the items that belonged to the Joneses. Was that intentional?
No, it was not. I walked in, I hurt myself on a table. I tried going over and getting more calmed down because everyone was like really loud and boisterous outside. It was a big festival event. I don't know. Were you here for the what was it? I forget the name of the festival. But besides the point, I did break an urn, and that's why I was dirty.
So, what did you do after that? You broke
I
into
tried.
somebody's house and you broke an urn. You were dirty, but you didn't immediately take a bath. Is that correct?
I tried to get rid of the dirt on the ground and consolidate it into one spot. And then,
It's not very polite of you. It's a
well,
little
I didn't know it was an urn at the time. I thought it was dirt.
What happened after you broke the urn?
After I did that, I was really tired and scared, so I went to sleep. And before I left, I cleaned myself up so that I was normal. And then I was going to go downstairs and re-clean everything and then start trying to think of. I write notes usually to try and prepare for conversations. And I was going to write a note and get ready to try and explain why I broke the pot. Because I thought it was a pot with a seed that wasn't growing in it.
The maid of the Joneses' account says that she had screamed when she had witnessed the crime. Did you not hear her upon your slumber?
I did, but it was really scary. What was I supposed to do?
Take a bath, apparently.
Well, yeah.
Doesn't channel really a sense of urgency.
Well, I
Doesn't
couldn't
really
be
channel a sense of fear either. When somebody's scared, they hide or they take action. And your action was to clean yourself. Can you see why this doesn't really make sense?
Maybe for a bird who doesn't know where grow is.
You see him sit straight in his chair once more and sort of put his fingers in between his temples as he goes,
Can I speak to the mayor?
"No. You were taking a bath and preceding that, you, I would assume, heard others entering in and out of the home. How long does it take for you to take a bath?"
That's an intimate question, and I would like to remain silent.
My point is that if you were so much in fear, why didn't you just exit the premises? Why did you feel the need to stay where you were?
Being caught?
Well, it was easy enough for you to break in without a trace.
Well, no, clearly I left a trace. That's the whole problem.
Maybe I'm not asking the right question. Why are you here?
I think I'm of a lot better use to Pyre than I would be in Grow, and than I would be in any of the other places. Because, no offense to your lovely city of Pyre, but I have a feeling that it's sick. And you have a lot of people that know how to treat symptoms, but I don't think you know what you have yet.
I think the city is sick of people like you coming in here and not knowing its rules, disrespecting its people and its property, and brushing it off as, well, polite. According to where you come from, that's customary. But that's not how we do it here. Granted, you are
I
not
wouldn't,
from here.
I wouldn't necessarily say that anything I do would be customary. I came from a lighthouse. I was just in the lighthouse. I had very little interaction with a ton of other people. So not to like point a bigotry notion towards you or anything, but like, come on.
I think that would make you predispositioned to further not know the laws and the rules of somewhere that you've never been to before, or even make assumptions about whether something is working or not within a city. A metropolis, let alone that. But somehow that motivation, even after being charged only community service, prompted you to somehow show up at yet another crime scene. Tell me about that.
Can I make some type of check here? Because Alloy just got furious. Alloy's really pissed off right now. Yeah, Mr. Crime
He
said
has
something
that. He has
that
that
was a
effect.
little. Yeah, Mr. Crime said something a little rude there, and I don't know what check I need to make, but I I don't know. I just
You
feel like I'm
can
at an impasse right now. Is the idea?
you can make a wisdom if you would like. to see
tell
how
me.
well you're able to navigate and regulate your emotions in the moment.
I got a 21.
That stung a little. That stung. But, you know, he doesn't know you.
I don't need to know policy to know when something is sick. Okay? If you want to know when something needs help, you need to be here to listen to people. And I don't know what you were off twiddling your thumbs doing, but at least I was here where the people were dying. Seems like that's one thing I'm good at doing. So if I can't solve the problems, put me with someone that can, because I seem to be better at finding bodies.
And what exactly did you do to contribute to helping people not die or find the bodies? What was your contribution to either one of those crime scenes other than being aloof and ignorant to the situation?
If you want credentials, I don't have them. If you want to know that I was doing everything that I could to try and figure out who did that to them, if you need to know if I care, then that's a separate question. Because yes, I did something wrong. I thought I was here because I trespassed twice. I didn't know I was here for a moral quandary.
Still haven't answered my question. What did you do to contribute to preventing these people from dying or aid in what had happened to them, other than just being there?
I tried to exclaim the connection between gnomes and the differences in the, I guess you could say, the perception of the races of the victims. I had a piece of evidence.
And what evidence was that?
It was a page of a screenplay, a stage play of something that Ricky really enjoyed. A project that they clearly liked. It was right near their fireside. On the night that everything happened, I had that. I thought that it was important. It said things about gnomes. Gnomes came up later. I was talking with Squad uh, Wyvern. I was trying to work with them.
If you were really working with them, you would have known that Romeo and Juliet was simply the next play that he was going to star in. Perhaps practicing his lines, memorizing it, getting to know the script as an actor does. Has nothing to do with what had happened to him or his wife. And you still have not answered my question. How did you end up at the second crime scene?
Well, I was following the gang.
And were you told by your supervisor or anyone else that having any knowledge of a case that is exclusive to the investigative unit is not permitted for you to know?
I didn't really have knowledge that they were doing something. I just kind of wanted to follow who I thought were my friends. And then I got yelled at for that.
You wanted to follow them without them knowing. What a
Well,
friend.
sorry. I thought detectives could spot people who were being sneaky. I thought it was a cheeky little trick. I wasn't necessarily trying to be invisible. I could have tried to use magic to do that.
Interesting friend-like relationship to have, to pretend to follow them. So you followed them to the house. Then what happened?
Well, they started going and doing their job, and I didn't want to interrupt an actual job because they clearly had something to do as soon as they got to where they were.
I thought
It
you said you
wasn't,
wanted to help and that you cared.
I wanted to help and I wanted to care. The thing is, they got really mad at me the last time I helped with a really professional thing. So I thought that I
So
could
clearly
wait.
not caring that much.
Well, I actually started to, you know what? I'm going to stop talking until I speak to the mayor because you're being really rude. I think you need something out of me that's separate from this, or you're simply lost. Because you're running in circles here. I'm giving you all the truth I can give. Do you have one of those circles again? Is that like a moral thing again, or can you just like circle me up?
You see him lean forward, putting his hands on the table and wrapping, thumbs around himself. Don't talk all you want. Just know that that never helps anyone's case. All I'm trying to find out is why the same person ended up on separate crime scenes, claiming that they wanted to help. But in reality, didn't do shit. And I think that's the reality that you're grappling with, struggling to. You're not a detective. You're not an investigator. Act like it. And he stands up, and he turns around and leaves the room.
Corvids are better.
Okay. So, you guys listen to the entire conversation. And you see Crime walk out of the room and close his eyes for a second and again do that temple thing with his fingers before he looks at all of you. Is this a fucking joke?
Unfortunately not.
Feels like it, isn't it?
We wish it was.
They want to talk to the mayor. That's up to him. But I highly doubt that would help anyone's case. If you ask me, arrest them for impeding on an investigation
Guess so.
if they refuse to talk. And you see Sergeant Crime start to walk off as he says to you all behind his over his shoulder, "See you in an hour and a half." Woo! Bota says. You see now, that was kind of good. I mean, no notes, really. I'll have to talk to the mayor, but we can't keep them here for too long. Any thoughts?
I'm angry that we gave them a second chance and it feels like they threw it in our face.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the good thing about what Crime had to say was that, well, I guess more when he didn't say that Alloy was lying. But I do think he was right in saying that maybe Alloy is just a little bit in over their heads about this situation.
From what I've seen so far, it seems that they're very dedicated to being a propagandist. But from what we saw during the training exercise, and her drawing the image of me yelling at the citizens. I worry about how things are going here with it versus the protesters.
Me too, Bo says as he continues to look at Alloy. But I can't help but feel bad for them. I mean, he looks at all of you and glances at you, Maeve, and looks back to Alloy. I don't know about the rest of you, as I know a lot of you aren't from here, but I do think, or at least I can relate to what they said about the city. That's why I became an enforcer.
Me too.
We can only do our best, but it doesn't really mean anything until we glance at the results.
Mhm.
And if this person is seeing something that we're not, maybe the mayor will take a listen closer than we will.
And if he
Dude.
doesn't,
Go ahead.
sorry. I agree with you. I feel bad for them. I mean, as far as they have, just to have this happen, whether it was their fault or not, still. But there has to be learning somehow.
I mean, this is our home. We protect it. But sometimes being a protector doesn't mean that sometimes we don't make the wrong choices for the betterment of the city. And you see, it's another one of those moments with Bo that you've felt from the mayor as well, or just like this, especially for you, Matthew, this odd sense of vulnerability that comes with a feeling of equality. And in this moment, you know, you guys have seen Bo as your leader, and depending on the mentality behind it, maybe this sense of leveling with you guys on how he feels on the issue may glean as humanizing him a little bit more, for lack of a better term. But he takes his gaze away from Alloy. I better hop to the mayor, and I'll make sure that we schedule a meeting with you as well, Matthew, for the mayor by the end of the day, so keep me an ear out for that.
Very well. Drake is the one who saw something that Commodore hadn't seen in each of us. I believe he's a better judge of character than any of us, including crime. It might be worth talking.
I think
The
so
mayor,
too.
the mayor sees the good in everybody, crime sees the bad in everybody.
What do we see in everyone?
Crime's not so bad. Maybe a little scary, but he's not bad.
He's very good at his job. And half of his job is to be very scary.
Yeah. He's so cool, he says as he walks away from you all.
We have to be crime scene in what, an hour and a half?
An
How's
hour
the
and a
ship
half, yes.
moving?
How long will it take to get there? Like an hour? Since
By
I'm
horse,
on
like
my horse. My horse.
45 minutes.
Heard.
Well, we better get a move on so that way we can secure the place and kind of maybe look around a little bit more ourselves before he gets there.
I think that's a good idea.
We definitely don't want to, bleh. We definitely don't want to show up after he shows up.
That is a very good point.
To the stables?
To the stable.
Do I even know that they saw or heard that?
No. You do not. There we go. Okay. So, as you get to the stables, get your horses, and start traveling back to Britigale, Falmer, and Amali Dojal's place. And I'm so glad that I still have it. Here it is. There we go. So, you do indeed get there, and there is nobody on the crime scene. You do see a huge, just like, X of adhesive that says the words "crime scene do not enter" over the doors and windows, as it, is the best that one can do in these situations. What are you guys doing? Would you like the map of the actual house, or?
Yes, please. Por favor.
You're.
Okay.
Yes.
Weird.
So this is how you guys left it the last time. What you doing?
Could we have a picture of it as well? Because I can't see it.
I'm dropping it in the chat for you. No worries. I'm
Thank
trying
you.
to put everyone's faces to the bottom left corner so that way it doesn't impede on the picture.
Thank you.
Awesome.
As you enter the house, there is in fact still like the welcome home basket and the empty plates still there. There are still some oh, I lied. No, I lied. And the bodies are in fact not there. You do see some tracks leading from the hallway where they were to the door, but you can just assume that that's like the stretchers that they had exited the bodies on. Like, tracks of wheels that were maybe scratched into the floor a little bit. But you do see that the pot is not there anymore. And yeah. There's still the writing on the wall.
Crime isn't there yet, right?
He's not. He'll be here in a couple minutes.
Good. Without disrupting the scene too much, Matthew is not extremely attuned to magic as a being, but would you say he's trying to find if there are like a residue of magic he can find, either like traces or anything that like that we might have missed on the first time.
Uh, some sort of like detect magic equivalent of
No,
investigation. Or like...
just an arcana check, I guess. I don't have detect magic. Like see if there's like not necessarily the presence of magic, but the aftermath of magic, right? Like either like a tiny burn or
And
the like, anything of sort, or if Kadani has something.
I just want to tell y'all, in Donnie's last level up, she did get Dispel Magic. So if y'all find anything.
Lovely. Well, you guys can make investigation checks.
Investigation.
And we'll start with Matthew, of course. I'll go down the line.
No worries. Didn't take anything. I'll roll a 88. Do it because
Rather than rolling, can Kadani just give the help action to any person in the team that needs it?
Damn. Or to receive the help action, one or the other.
gonna be
Okay.
25.
Be bold, ladies.
Okay.
Do your own investigations.
No!
Yeah, well, you're gonna let these men do the work? No.
Yes.
Weird.
Yes.
Investigation, correct?
Yes.
Oh, that's why I don't do my own work. Oh.
Hey, he's searching. He's searching.
I hate that I'm slightly excited that I rolled a 13.
That's better than mine. I got a
That's good.
9.
Dirty 20.
Ooh. Nice.
I'll start with Matthew. What did you get for your investigation?
25.
Okay. So, the only like remnants of anything magical, arcane in nature that you find throughout the entire house is like your typical healing potions for sickness. Healing potions for sickness, and maybe some like salves and stuff like that. You do find a pair of knitting needles that seem to be like slightly have like a sheen to them, a little bit of an aura that you didn't really notice before. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, pretty much. That's what you find. Drench, what are you looking for specifically?
Just mostly around where the bodies were. Like, obviously, you said there's tracks generally from people taking the bodies and stuff, but like looking at like how the blood was and the writing and all of that, just to get a general kind of Sherlock Holmes-esque vibe of what happened, if that's even possible. Like, try and figure out something. I don't know.
Sure. So when you go into the hallway and you see blood still splattered everywhere along with the writing on the wall, you start to make a little bit more sense of it, sort of in a Troy Become Human Connor style fashion. You begin to maybe see a little bit of the picture of how exactly this went down, with you seeing different footprints, one of them barefooted, one of them seemingly having worn socks, which you did peep on the actual bodies themselves, but you see that it was definitely Britta Gale, the one who was wearing socks, who um you see like a little bit of a scuff and a shuffle. And like I said in the couple sessions ago, on the right side of the wall there's like this huge just splatter, which indicates somebody, specifically probably the head, being like forcefully smashed against the wall before there is another splatter on the ground right next to it and a little bit of a drag. And then you see like big splatters, like seemingly that the head smashing was done over and over again. And you can see two pairs of footprints that would have been Britta Gale's, maybe standing over Amali's body, and how those are stagnant. But then you see the footprints go over to the wall. And then you see some drips of blood next to the footprints that are next to, like, by the writing on the wall, and some splatters that are scattered on the actual wall where the writing is, indicating that possibly Britta Gale was smashing her own face or something. And then another sort of splat on the opposite side of where Amali is from where Britta Gale had hit the floor. That's what you sort of gather with your 25 and your analysis of the blood splatter and what you remember from the bodies themselves. Who got the 9? I forgot.
That would be me.
What are you looking for?
I am just looking for signs of a struggle, anything to indicate that there was a fight, or, you know, obviously there was a fight, but, you know, to see kind of how it played out, I guess.
Sure. The only thing that you gather is the trash that is in the kitchen. Looking at the rip pattern of the clothy material and also some of the items that were sort of shoved out of the bin, you could definitely tell that something ripped the bag open. It wasn't like cut open, and some of like the items that are more structural, so um like any sort of cloth or parchment that would, like, you know, would be wrapped by like butchers or something like that, are like crumpled and ripped apart as well. And some food that was maybe smashed and squished against the floor itself from somebody maybe stepping on it, like definitely indicating that somebody was looking through the trash. And so yeah, that's what you see. And then like it's more minor to you just because it's their own personal rooms, but neither of their beds are made up. But that's pretty much what you notice. And Kadani, what did you get?
13.
And what are you looking for?
She's mostly just looking for things that might have been missed, places that she didn't really go. She's looking in the bathroom, she's looking out in the backyard, as well as the pantry, to see if there might be something that she didn't gather when she was here, because she only went into like the main areas and the hallway, never went anywhere else in the house.
Yeah, so what you notice is that given the story that Squadron Viper had told you guys, they had told you that according to Britigale, Britigale was the one who had upkept the organized chaos, basically. Like, it wasn't a dirty place, but it was just maximalist. And how Amali was the one who would generally leave messes. But she would also be the one that would cook often. Going into the pantry specifically, you see that the food in here has nearly gone bad. Like, neither of them maybe have gone grocery shopping in a while. And you see a pile of dishes, and you see the dishes on the table and the welcome home basket that is still there, that Squadron Viper had mentioned weeks, like cycles ago, that Britigale had set up for Amali when she found out that Amali was found. And so, given the character that they had portrayed of Britigale being the more cleanly and organized one, this is a little unusual for Britigale to not upkeep. So that's what you all find.
I think we need to look into the maid for for Ricky and Mabel Jones again.
Regarding what?
Because their house was in a similar state of disrepair. And it's been bothering me that, the maid said that she came every 4 hours. Did you say for like 4 hours something? Almost every day, but the whole house was still.
Well, I'm the maid, I think Claren Fowl. I had checked her alibi and it all checked out, but granted her family could have been vouching for her. I did notice that there was some trash that looked like it was rummaged through here and there. And I agree that in the last crime scene as well, it was in a state of disrepair. Rotting food and dirty.
It's just something's not right. I mean, obviously something's not right. There's dead bodies. We've had 4 dead bodies on our hands. But in the terms of these two, like, you could attribute, like, okay, maybe it was whatever caused them to have this increased aggression. But with the case of Ricky and Mabel, it doesn't make sense with them because somebody else, a third party, was cleaning their house.
Well, I think we could stop by and check on Claren again if we wanted after we're done here. I still have a dress.
Yeah. I know I'm probably making a mountain out of a molehill. It's just something that's not sitting right with me.
No, you're investigating a lead.
That's
Coming
fine very
in.
much.
You hear from the outside.
Oh, good timing.
You hear the door open, and Crime has to bend himself to get through the door. He stands up tall, but hits a lantern.
Real quick, how tall is he?
He's quite tall. He's
7'8".
well, yes, he's nearly 7 feet tall.
There
What
you go.
Okay.
Tall ass bird.
Yeah, Serafina was also nearly as tall as him as well. Half harpies, what can you say?
Great job interrogating Aloy. Awesome. 5 gold, anyone?
I don't believe you got it done soon.
Pass, were you gonna say something?
Was-
No, I'm good. You go ahead.
Oh,
we finished.
you're just being sassy.
Oh, okay. You see Crime. You see his eyes flash green once more. And he's looking around this open concept, the living room / dining, and just tilts his head towards the kitchen. He goes, someone here was severely depressed.
That tracks. And just one of the only connections we really had between the two sets of victims.
Yes. And then he starts walking towards the kitchen, but then stops in his tracks and, like, furrows his brows. Like, it's very rare that you see him almost confused, but that's what you see. And without saying a word, it's like he's, like, following a fly or something. Like, he sees something in the air and then starts walking towards the hallway.
I'm gonna follow him a few feet behind.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Donnie.
Enjoying the show? He says he's a little out of it.
Very.
Curious of what do you see?
You're heading towards the site of murder, the allways where their body was found.
Thank you for the narration. And you see him look around again. And I know, he's a dick.
Such a cunt.
That was a good one.
He's
though.
looking at the hallway for quite some time. And then he's shaking his head. I've never seen this aura before. It's not a being. It's an emotion I can't read. Haven't read before. Never seen this color before. Feels. He turns to all of you all. And you see him struggle to find the words. He goes, it feels inked.
Ink?
Ink.
Like someone left the pen on the paper for too long. Saturated, rotted, and not undead. This was a deep emotion, he goes. And he walks back towards the living room. Here towards the table, you have your navy blue. That's melancholy. Depression. Which would explain, as symptoms from melancholy often include a lack of self-care for themselves and their environments, as he looks around at the mess. But then here in the kitchen, it's this aura. There was a transition here. And it leads to the hallway.
Does it seem like it was the same person who was melancholic?
Yes, whoever was sitting at this table and changed. Their mood shifted to this feeling. And of course, there is the peach which I assume was the victim of the murder, indicating intense fear.
When did that fear start?
Plumes of it in the hallway.
But not before.
That variation of color you stated, what closest emotion does it remind you of?
Suppression.
Have you ever experienced something like this before? Finding a new aura?
I've lived a long time. Seen every color of the rainbow. This one is new. It doesn't feel alone. It feels almost like a awful mix of everything all at once that exploded.
Do you think something like possession? Maybe? Suppression of the original host?
I can't determine that.
There was a celebration, I'm certain you're aware, a few cycles ago, and stated that some sensation can be heightened during the festival. What was the name of the festival? I'm trying to find
The
it.
Arcanation Raven.
Yes.
When somebody's mood shifts and he looks towards you, Maven, and starts approaching and gets very, very close to you, looks down on you. Just like that. It's a smooth transition like a gradient.
That is foul.
Don't want to know what he saw. Don't. Almost the word. Maybe it just goes right.
I didn't know this man was an empath.
There were
So, yeah.
several emotions at once going on right then, but we're not going to say which ones.
There can be a gradient of a transition of emotion, like so. In other cases, it's a instance, an immediate shift. That usually is from a magical property, but this was a transition. And then sometimes there could be undertones of neighboring emotions as well as, of course, a person can feel multiple things at the same time.
So, Britta Gale was in the kitchen, and you mentioned that somebody had gone through the trash.
That's correct.
And that was where the pot was, right? Based off the flakes we found.
Indeed.
So Britta Gale was in the kitchen, dug through the trash to find the pot, and if I remember from Viper's thing, that was a memento of hers. And the melancholy would explain as to why the trash was still here. And then she walked from the kitchen to the hallway, found Amelie, and bashed her brains in with the pot. Something caused her to shift in the kitchen.
I'm sensing a feathered creature, small, toward the back. And he starts walking towards the back door and moves the curtain.
Chickens?
Those are chickens, he says as he looks.
Very astute. Crime.
There is.
It was the chicken. No.
What I'm
No, that's
talking
wrong.
about.
Chicken.
Of course, I see your little friend's aura as well. A little obnoxious.
Out with the chickens?
Yes. Towards the door.
Hmm.
It's lavender color. Ugh.
Question though. There is a transition. Is there a transition back? Because from, at least from my limited vision of everything, what seemed to happen was she killed her roommate, her friend, and he points to the wall and kind of gestures. This happened afterward, and she ended her own life at that point.
Well, he says with a little bit of a hesitation, which he doesn't do. He doesn't do hesitation. He walks back towards the writing. When an emotion is heightened, as you mentioned before, it can be saturated. Become saturated, and it is indeed saturated in this spot. And he looks up. It's very vast. Usually an aura is like a smoke trail as somebody moves throughout a space, but this is encompassing. Very saturated. Whatever this person was feeling was very strong.
Anyone have any theories as to why she'd so suddenly have such strong, indescribable emotions?
I would say possibly something that is hidden, feeding off of it, but if it was doing that, it probably wouldn't have been this strong.
We might be dealing with something that has a psychological trigger to it. Victim can
Figure.
perhaps.
You figure?
I mean,
Possibly.
the victim may have gotten it, been infected by some sort of agent of sort, a spell, magic, whatever is the case. A little bit like how some individual go through hypnosis, awaking from a trigger and changing their mood, or changing personality even.
Something that suddenly makes someone have very intense emotions out of nowhere.
And there's a plethora of subconscious irregularities that can cause that. And that's not my forte. As he begins to go back to the living room. But it's quite simple to me.
You need to talk to
What
Dr.
were
Bridgie.
you saying?
No, sorry, I was going to say something, but she kept going. You go ahead.
Oh no, he just said, but it's quite simple to me.
Go on.
This
We can go ahead and say something, Dawson, if you like.
I'm gonna mute.
The floor is
Dawson,
yours.
speak! It's your
Speak!
speak!
Who are
No
you
one is
saying
saying
go on?
anything.
Were you saying go on to me, or were you guys saying going on to crime?
No, you
Why are
speak.
you?
You were speaking. Go ahead.
It's stupid.
Go ahead.
It's not stupid!
How good of memory do you think chickens have? That's a stupid question. It sounds kind of dumb, but and he kind of taps his staff. If anybody is a witness here to the actual event, perhaps they remember and can give a little insight. I can do that while the rest of you are looking around. Just see what I can, if
Yes,
they will talk.
please. Professor Lovejoy?
Yeah, it's something I forgot to do last time we were here. But hopefully they're smarter than they look. No offense. And he kind of walks out the door as he says that to Crime.
In Crime, you said it seems simple to you. Would you care to elaborate?
Simpler. There could very well be the fact that one or both of them were dealing with a subconscious irregularity that would have caused them to have such intense, strong emotions and mood swings. But oftentimes, in these sorts of cases, it's the smaller things that add up. The tie between the previous investigation and this one, that was very apparent to me, is that these were long-term relationships. Not everyone is fit for that. The challenges, trials and tribulations, getting to know each other constantly. And if Brittigale had lamented a flaw in her roommate despite having this connection, it could still cause a dent in the integrity of it. And if Brittigale was dealing with more personal issues, along with a subconscious irregularity, it's a recipe waiting to happen. And that's just what I think, he says, as he continues to look around. But Drench, what are you doing?
We don't have to roleplay me talking to chickens, but
I
It seems like it's
demand
gonna
a
go
Yes, we
roleplay
do.
of you talking to
Yes,
chickens.
yes,
I
yes.
We already
demand
roleplay
it.
talking to pigeons, so why not chickens?
Yes.
Oh,
He's
Or seagulls, not pigeons, my bad.
he's gonna go and he's gonna go outside and sit on the ground and put his staff on his lap, like cross-legged. He's just gonna sigh and this might be just stupid. Okay, and he's going to use his staff and cast speak with animals.
Okay.
Ooh, how do I even start the conversation with chickens?
Peck. Peck, peck, peck. Peck. Peck.
You know what? Here, let me. Do I have food on me? He might have, some. Oh, he's got his little seasoning powder. He's gonna take some of the. He's gonna use his. Where is it? Heward's handy spice pouch and just take out some, herbs that smell nice and smell yummy, and hold it out towards the chickens. And say, "May I speak with some of you for a moment?"
You hear a cacophony of food, 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 as some of them rush towards you, or others are minding their own business. And you hear just that food, 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 food.
Oh, okay. How do I? He's gonna take one of the leaves off of his staff. It's like a kind of a small growing bush-esque tree at the top of it, and he's going to kind of crumble it up into small portions, and hold it out towards one of the chickens. And he's gonna cast animal friendship with that as it eats from that hand. I
He's
have
gonna
a.
take
I have. Hmm?
nibbles from your hand. One of the chickens that's like brown and black feathers
Could you answer some questions for me?
Huh? I don't talk with my mouth full.
Well, then you can finish eating if you wish, but afterwards, if it is all right.
Peck, 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 peck. Peck.
He's just gonna sit and wait for the chicken to finish eating.
Never had this type of feed before.
It's very unique. Doesn't come from. It's not very local, I should say.
Peck, peck, peck. As Finn eating. Goes, what do you need, huh? What's it to ya?
Well, there were some people in here. They were the ones that fed you before, correct? People that lived in this house.
Human number 1, human number 2.
Yes. Something bad happened to them not too long ago. Do you recall hearing anything out of the regular? Or seeing anything? And he
Hi,
points
hi,
up towards
hi,
the window.
Hi, hi. As you hear like a bunch of the other chickens join in as they all start saying, hi, hi, in a very like high-pitched, sweet voice.
Hello? Is that what you heard, or are you just saying hi?
Hi, hi, hi. You feeling?
Are they okay?
Feeling well? Feeling well? Feeling better? Brit, Brit. They all start saying all together.
Drench has never been afraid of chickens before, but something that's this is starting to like kind of make him nervous.
Yes,
But he
and
keeps
in like
listening.
unison and like almost like a chant at different times, they're all saying in a very high-pitched, sweet voice, like, "Hi, how are you? How are you feeling, Brittigale? Brittigale, how are you feeling?"
Do you recall if it was one of the humans saying that to the other, or if it was someone else or something else?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
What
Bang,
happened after?
bang, bang, bang. They all start singing.
Right. Did anything happen after the banging, or was it just that and then silence?
They don't say anything to you. They just look at you with their heads twitching back and forth.
Is probably what I should have expected from chickens. Okay. Well, I appreciate your input. Is there anything else you wish to say before I leave?
My fault. My fault.
That's what I meant. If anything happened afterwards, what do you... Is... He's just visibly getting frustrated at a bunch of chickens. Did anything... And that was it. That was the
Bang,
last thing you heard.
bang, bang.
And then more banging, yes.
And that's all there is. They just keep chanting bang, bang, bang different times at you.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, it is quite frightening. As they sort of like start as one, then two, then a group, and all together, louder and louder.
Well, I will make sure to get you some I will see what I can do for you to get taken care of. Thank you for your time. Yeah, and he goes back inside.
Hey, go back inside.
Anything promising?
Do not ever let me talk to chickens again. Especially about murder cases. Holy, oh my gosh.
Chickens have no moral center. Did they say anything?
Just basically the stuff that we already knew, but in a much more creepy sense for some reason. Nothing worth.
At least you have a confirmation of some things then.
Well, confirming that there were at least no other voices being heard. It was just seemingly them too.
Was anything else communicated to you from the chickens?
That sentence sounds so stupid. No. No, just pretty much what we knew.
Is crime still here?
Yep. Hands across his chest,
Awesome.
looking at all of you.
Was
An eyebrow
everybody,
raise.
was everyone just staring out the window, watching Drench talk?
Yup.
this whole
For
time?
sure.
Wholeheartedly.
Yes.
sure.
Do we know what the enforcers are gonna do about the animals?
Usually they would be given away to markets or anyone who would want them, neighbors possibly.
Gotcha, okay. I was curious because it's been a few days since I believe they've been fed. So I think I'll before we leave I'll throw out a few cups of feed. Wait, no, you threw some feed for them, right? Drench?
I had a tiny handful of spices, pretty much.
So they're probably still
Mhm.
hungry.
Alloy
Yeah.
fed them.
And it's that's true as well.
I don't think any of us saw that though, right?
Hmm.
No.
No.
That's true. Unless Ally would have mentioned it while they were being arrested, but yeah.
I think they actually did because they were trying to explain anything with the. They're like, I was in the back. I swear to God, I was drawing the pictures. I fed the chickens, gave them my little snacks. I left.
I will be honest, even if Alloy did tell the enforcers on that and did say that within the vicinity of Kadani, I still don't think, compared on how much I've rolled with her, that she would have caught it.
Yeah. Crime goes, that's all that I see.
It's a
And
lot of
that's
more
my
informa-
theory.
It's a lot more information than we started with. Thank you so much, sir, for coming out here to look at this.
So for next steps, Kadana, you'd mentioned wanting to see the maid clone again, and I think that we might need a psychological consultation from Dr. Bridgie.
Could be a good idea.
'Cause
Probably knows best in his realm.
something about the mental state and the physical evidence we've had isn't quite just lining up with me. Because you mentioned here Melancholy switched to this, which matches with Britigale, but the Melancholy with Ricky and Mabel was the one who was feeling melancholy. And Ricky was feeling sad that he couldn't be much help, but she was the one with the extreme depressive state from everything we've looked at, but she was the one that was stabbed. And while these are dissimilar states of disrepair, a third party was what handled the cleaning for Ricky and Mabel, so something just seems off.
Why don't we follow up on that clan again to at least check on that, and then
I agree.
perhaps after Dr. Bridgie.
I think that would be a good idea.
I would suggest you wait until you get the rest of the evidence. See if there's anything else that you missed. Have a good day, he says as he turns and walks out.
Thank you. Well, then I guess we hold off with Dr. Bridgie then.
What time is it?
By now it's like the equivalent of like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So, if there's not anything else that you'd like to do at the house, we
Come on, Dawson. Come on.
Awaken
Come
the
on.
chicken!
What are we gonna do with the sentient
Awaken the
chicken?
chicken.
Awaken the chicken!
Awaken the
the
chicken.
chicken.
Awaken the
Sentient chicken.
chicken.
They've given me all the information they have. We don't need a sentient chicken roaming
Why
around
not?
tired.
They
Me
could be our
too.
Because
mascot.
they're gonna end up being the big bad.
Yeah, but we
What
don't
do
have
you
that
mean?
anymore. We could be Squadron Chicken.
I will be honest though, with
You
you
guys,
mentioning about
you
being the
guys
big
would
bad,
rather adopt a
I-
chicken than Alloy. That's crazy.
What were you saying, Shay?
if in terms of a big bad, I would not be surprised if a chicken ended up being the big bad. Like Donnie said, they have no moral center.
Jekyll's just a front.
The chicken.
You
I like
fry lug with chicken.
It's awesome.
Okay. Oh, are you awakening the chicken?
No, he's not, I think.
Okay.
No, no spoilers. I'm
Aw.
actually genuinely not doing that.
Okay, just making sure. Alrighty. So we will go back to the city hall. While you guys were traveling there and investigating, requests were being fulfilled back at the city hall with Alloy. What has Alloy done to decompress a little bit after that intense conversation?
Stew in rage. I don't think they decompress. They're choosing to stew in rage.
Okay. That makes sense. 1 second. Do. Sounds good.
I've got one of my little cards ready.
Okay.
I've made a little trinket. Not anything fancy. A piece of parchment with scribbles on it.
Okay. Oopsie. There we go. Nope. That one. Thank you. Okay. So, back here. Alloy, as you are still riled up from the conversation, it seems like it's been forever since somebody has talked to you last, since crime was in here, leaving a bad taste maybe in your mind and in your mouth a little bit about the accounts that you had told him. But then all of a sudden you hear a soft knock at the door, and you see the door crack open, and you see the familiar face of the mayor. You see his long brown hair in a ponytail, a light beard, as he gives you a soft, polite, sympathetic smile and is, "Hello there. I know we've met before, but let's be formally introduced." And he comes fully in the room. "My name is Mayor Raylan Drake of the Aerosari. It's a pleasure to meet you. Alloy, was it?"
Yes. My name is Alloy. I'm from Grow, and I have a small presentation I would like to give.
Hit me with it, he says with a smile as he sits down across from you.
Okay. And you can see there's like a not looking at the mayor, but like a 1,000-yard stare, kind of direct eye contact at this man, where it's like, I'm not looking at you. I'm either looking at your soul or like some visions in the background. And it's just locked forward. I believe you're at a crossroads and you're beating a dead horse. And then I pull out a card, and it's a reversed tarot card of death with a horse skull painted on it in a lavender hue. I bring you to read your death in inverse. If you can't stand in a room and understand somebody as they cry, then it's a shame because the streets are going to be crying. And if you can't do the same for someone that's sick, then it's a shame because the streets are sick. And I know that there is a protest that is happening. I know that there is shame being brought towards you, and I know that I'm perceived as some of that issue. But the streets are going to beg no matter what. I am no martyr or Trojan horse. I am nothing to be opposed to. I am just here to try and conduct. I just want to hear what everyone's saying because it's all I hear. And I want it to sound better. I am capable. I'm begging for remorse, not pity. And I promise that. And then all of the rage just goes away and they start crying.
You see that the mayor's face the entire time that you were talking he was nodding his head very slowly, giving you eye contact, even if you weren't able to at times. His brows upturned at the centers. And as you start to weep, you are weeping alone for a moment. But then you feel a gentle hand on your shoulder. I hear what you're saying. And I deeply, deeply appreciate it. You know, it's a great quality to have such insight to a matter, especially for someone who's coming into a completely new and probably scary environment. Yes, the city and its leaders have been getting some flack lately about the leadership. I won't disagree with you on that. And I want to let you know that even though you are new here, your voice does matter as well. That symphony that you mentioned, I hear that you want to be a part of it and your harmony is welcomed. If you feel as though there are some things to be improved upon, I am all ears. Suggestions on how we can improve and listen and diagnose and cure the sickness a little bit better. I do think as well, given your circumstance, especially with an ongoing investigation, there is some validity in the suspicion of you being there in both crime scenes. I was told by Sergeant Crime that you were truthful to your knowledge.
I actually do have an idea for this. So, honesty is something that's really important. And I want to be honest here. I don't know how to be more direct. And if I could have any help with that, that would be wonderful. That circle that they gave me last time made them listen to me for the first time. I don't feel like they've heard me ever since I left that circle. And I wanted to know if you could give me something that's like that so that they'll listen to me more.
Are you referring to the zone of truth?
Yeah,
I see.
I just want their trust, and I know I can't do anything more myself because I keep doing the wrong stuff.
I see. Well, first of all, I guess I will apologize on Squadron Wyvern's behalf on them not believing you. But do understand that it is their job, and not to harbor anything towards them for that. As for you, and how your trust can be given, I think transparency in terms of intention, in a more direct manner, would be better. I have been told that the answers that you've been giving in terms of your intentions and whereabouts have been a little bit, excuse the historical context of this, tricky to decipher. And if you are a new citizen, genuinely concerned about the well-being of the city, I did also hear from your supervisor that you were interested in journalism.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is where I feel like we can strike a little bit of a deal. If you want to be a little bit of a liaison of the people to the leaders, as leaders we aren't really able to connect with the people as much as maybe we would like to or should, maybe you could work alongside the city for a little while, and in turn listening to the people and being an advocate for both sides. Maybe working with Squadron Wyvern and observing what they do and seeing the care and effort and risk that they put into their jobs, and conveying that to the public will relay a little more of an understanding, and then vice versa, you reporting to us about the concerns that are rising in the city and how we can make it better.
That sounds really nice. I do have a question about crime, though.
I get that often, yes.
What exactly? I'm so sorry. What exactly? He's very intimidating. I've just heard a lot about their wife.
He giggles at that. Yes, yes.
Like, what's the big deal with her? Is she something fancy?
Well,
Like an angel or something?
I guess you could say that. Assuming that angels can exist. Yes, in that context. She is a warrior of the lands of Trail. And Aloy, you've heard of this place before. You know what this place is. Because you knew a person that was very close to you that was from the exact same place. She has fought around the world of oppressive groups of people, communities, rather than, formal governments and dictatorships, since, like we have here in Irai, that's a little bit more complicated to figure out, but her clan does what they can, and it sort of caught wind here about a century or so ago, when we had a little bit of a spat between blood hunters and vampiric type. But that's what she's named.
This is gonna be a really weird question. But this is like the biggest place with like all the records and all the paper and all of that stuff. Do you think she'd know my mom?
I'm not sure
With-
of that.
Kind of like a bird too, kinda a little.
Well, Seraphina and Sergeant Crime aren't have Harpy. If
Yeah.
if your mother was too, then I'm not sure. That would have to be a question for Crime and his mate.
I'd love to know what clan she's from. I don't think that I'm on good terms with Crime, but I don't know. I might have some letters to write.
Of course, of course. As per protocol, you've been through this before, and I will say, Aloy, just ask questions, be curious, and that get knowledge. That will save you from having to go through this whole thing again. I believe that your intentions were pure and good. Now, through that, the advice I just gave you, it's time to show the others as well. I will talk to them, tell them to be a little bit easier on you, but you have to show up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you would like to express to me before I depart and see about letting you go?
Did they already kill all of the goop?
The goop?
The goop that like really hurt me?
Oh, the sticky with the
Sticky.
experimentation. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is highly, highly dangerous and deadly and toxic, yes.
Just checking. That's all.
Okay. I look forward to doing business with you, Aloy, official liaison of the people and the government. He gives you a little bit of a wink.
Haha. I knew I could do it.
And he departs. And we'll take a cheeky little 5-minute break there.
Take a little break.
All right,
Alright,
mate.
sounds good.
Hi, so I did in fact forget to start recording again after we came back from the break, but all is good. I'm here to give you a friendly recap from the future. So we missed us checking back in with Beau, and his evil girlfriend who hates Maeve gave her a side eye. Then Ally requested Maeve to be their legal counsel by sending a tarot card of the Fool, but was also informed by another guard that Maeve is not a lawyer. And then Matthew started discussing some rumors with the mayor, which is where we leave off. Okay, sorry, bye.
To Drake, at least, it will be evident that Matthew seems to be thinking, like, stuck a little bit in his head. Perhaps Brigitte will know more.
And then, I mean, the mental professionals that we associate with the City Hall are bound by law for non-disclosure, especially when it comes to armed forces. Although I suppose if the detailing of the nature of the rumor coming from a brief exchange between colleagues at the mental institution, I can certainly contact the institution to make sure that
I
work.
can ask and search by myself if that would pose too much issue or too much discomfort.
To me,
I have no, or Brigitte for the case.
oh, well, I'm sure she'd be open to it.
Well, that was all that I wished to ask, I believe.
Are you sure? Do you feel as though these rumors will hinder your work environment in any way? I want you to be comfortable as well.
What do you know? You seem someone who has a good lay of personality and understand its civilian, its people, whom enter your city, who remains in them, who you even hire. What do you know of my past affiliation?
I know that you had taken part of the situation, if you will. I don't know the specifics, and quite frankly, I don't think it's relevant anymore. It's a little bit difficult, the state or the status of the city in regards to the empire. We're not technically allowed, nor do we really have the power to bar anyone from the city. We do have our protections at the border. That's where most of our arms go to in case of an invasion, specifically to warn people. And we have our protocols for evacuation towards the seas. Jiminy knows more about that.
Do you
And as
not
far as
worry? Go ahead.
well, if I assume what the rest of your sentence is, of course, just like everyone else in the city.
I meant with the growing disdain and confrontation from the city. Do you not worry that your choice making in citizen leading the investigation unit or partaking in it might be challenged were they to realize that the Vaxilin of the Blood Union is amidst your group?
I would like to believe that the people of this city have the same sentiments as I do. Yes, I was aware of your prior affiliation, and I would be dishonest with you if I were to say that I wasn't wary of your intentions. But I also know that a true product of the Empire wouldn't dare set foot in the city, let alone work with anyone. And we have our suspicions about other members as well. Troy once more, given his parents' status. but I was detailed on the specific circumstance. You've proven yourself to be trustworthy as of yet. You've proven a change of heart. You have no prior record of hatred, discrimination, suspicion, and you've lived it for many years. If you really, really wanted to break grounds, why do it alone? Number one. And number two, I'm aware of who your family is as well. Your child, your servant.
Of her
People can-
assistant. But yes.
Apologies, assistant. I simply believe, Mr. Bleakwood, that people can change.
I understand.
It is as simple as that. It wouldn't be very fair or equal if I had shut you out given your background. I took a chance. Followed my intuition. And if that's irresponsible, then strike me where I stand. But I feel as though I made the right decision with you.
Thank you for believing so then.
Of course.
He'll look at the clock and I believe I'll let you be in that case. Thank you for taking the time.
Anytime, Mr. Bleakwood. You have a good night.
You as well. And you'll depart.
Okay. And I suppose with that, I think it's a good place to end.
Hell yeah.
He gave you consent. Stab him. Sorry.
At first I thought you were gonna start yelling at this man. Like, what do you know?
Matthew doesn't yell. What do you mean? He only yell at his colleague and people he doesn't like.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Right.
we've seen
Matthew
Matthew
yells
yell.
when he's pissed. Like,
Yeah.
That
Or
moment
during
a couple games
battle
ago.
when he
What?
has to, but-
Huh?
A couple sessions ago when we said that Aloy was found in the house, and he goes, "What?"
That was
what was it?
Yeah,
The,
that was
the
really
statement you said of you like from outside, Maeve and Kandani could just hear Matthew go, "What?"
LOL.
There's only been 2 times he yelled, right? It was at when people barged into his home, I believe, or something. Oh no, when the people were gathering at his fucking home, trying to fucking hold himself from telling about Loretta or something, and fucking bothering him, or it was another instance. That and what?
Oh, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this session. Next session, we will be doing the rest of the things that I plan.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I told Meg last night. She's like, "Oh, I'm so excited for your game, but I feel like someone's gonna be traumatized." I was like, "Ah, you guys will take the wheel mostly, and this time." And of course, I always have stuff written down, but I think it's beneficial for you guys to rule things out. But yeah, next
Sure.
time we will pick up with Maven and Alloy. And then the
which
date.
was
but
totally planned.
that's
date.
okay.
The date. We need the date.
Yes. And then of course, yeah, so you guys want to wait for the evidence, autopsy reports, and speak to Claren, possibly?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think Kadani wanted to speak to Claren, right?
Claren.
And maybe wants to speak to
Uh,
Dr. Bridgie. Wants
Me
to.
too.
Should.
Matthew should.
I
Not
think
once.
talking to Dr. Bridgie would be a good idea.
What a coincidence.
Um, um, I think Kadani just kind of want to more check in on Claren, see if she's okay.
Mm.
Not less of still somewhat a suspect, yes, but more of a is she also affected by whatever the fuck is going on?
Mm, makes sense.
Well,
Because that's the only thing that's like making any sort of sense with Donnie's head. Because it's been the state of the house has been bothering her like the fuck out of her since that investigation.
I don't think it would affect her because, as we know, she is a lesbian, and obviously those are not affected.
You're thinking of the
by
wrong
se-
person.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That's
the wrong
the
person.
wrong person.
Yeah, I'm thinking
He
of
was so
you're
excited to make the
thinking of the
lesbian comment too.
Yeah,
No.
you're thinking of the
No.
mistress that we had to do the lesbian check on.
Oh my god! Right? Yes, it
No,
was
we're
her.
talking about the maid who might be a
Oh.
lesbian. We don't know. It was
I
it
thought
come up
She
in the
seemed like she
special
was in love with
investigation.
Ricky.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
she
that
was
is true.
absolutely like she was
Yeah.
absolutely a fangirl of Ricky, like
Oh,
100%.
So
Damn. Oh,
Mm,
shame.
I'm
Shame.
glad
Shame.
you guys
Shame.
are back in your bodies, thinking
Yeah.
real hard as your
Oh
characters.
yeah.
Thinking.
Yeah.
I'm
Trying.
welcome back, Sergeant Crime. We've missed you. Yeah,
Oh boy.
so much.
Being
Oh,
victims of crime.
Sorry I brought
I-
him
I-
back,
I-
guys.
I-
I just thought he'd be helpful.
and
Yeah.
He
You
has
guys,
been, and then he became annoying again.
Mhm.
you guys
You.
threw crime at me, so now I'm throwing me at Meg.
No, we did not throw anything at Alloy.
and also
No, it was
low-key-
more of go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and also low key, welcome back, Mayor. We've missed you.
Did you
Haven't
read the
gotten-
mirror?
He hasn't
like the
gotten much
mayor.
screen time since the beginning of
I
the
needed a
arc.
mayor intro, man.
Yeah.
God, isn't he great?
Yeah,
like
I'm
him.
telling
Yeah, I
you,
like
all I
him.
needed to do was tell the mayor's fortune, and everything would be fine, and it worked.
Debatable. Debatable. But
Well, I
I'll
don't think
trust
you would believe in the woo woo stuff, but
He
he
doesn't
believed
believe the
you.
woo. He's not a crosser. Oh man.
That's the word.
Yeah, no, he didn't need to
Yeah.
believe in anything, but like Alloy fully thinks that that card is magic. Like,
What was
that
it
shit
they sent
worked.
Maeve, the fool?
Yeah, I sent you the fool. It's Alloy's card because they're a fucking idiot. You're gonna learn a little bit about what that means.
Okay.
But it's just like a sign to be like, hey, contact back with me.
Wait, so would it have
Also,
said
the
like
fool-
Alloy's name or anything, or is it just identifiably
It's like a
Alloy's
drawing
hand-
of
drawing?
Alloy.
Okay.
Like
okay,
it
cool.
literally looks like that. It has like a little one at the bottom. It's like the size of a tarot card.
Perfect.
Mm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Fun facts. You're probably intended for this. The Fool is the first card of the Major Arcana, as it is the beginning of a journey,
Yeah.
Oh.
which
Yeah,
then leads all
beginning
the way
of
through
the-
to the world. Yeah.
The
Yes.
first official, like, personalized journalist of the city hall.
Lovely. Also the death card was drawn for the mayor, and it is literally symbolized usually by like a horse skull or something, or like a skeletal
Mhm.
horse, or like the horse of death or a pale horse or whatever the fuck. So me starting that reading off with "You're beating a dead horse" was meant to be a pun.
Oh.
Beautiful. I got my pterodactyl.
Yeah, you got death reversed. There's an ending to something you're avoiding, and you're beating a dead horse.
Beating a dead horse.